What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Benchwarmer Sports. Yep, I am back. It's been a minute. Yeah, I know. It has been a little bit longer than I wanted to, but I'm going to make a video explaining pretty much everything, what's been going on, why I decided to take a break, a much longer break than I was really anticipating, um, and what the future of this channel is going forward. But uh, as you can see by the title underneath my face cam right now, it's not good. It's not good at all because the Cleveland Cavaliers just got trounced today by the Orlando Magic by I think 22 points, or 23 points, excuse me. And we need to have a discussion about the Cleveland Cavaliers, folks, because I have not been talking about the Cavaliers, I don't think, all season long, um, since I took my break in January. We need to have a discussion about the Cavaliers, folks, because this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Uh, we have seen quite possibly the softest Cavs team I have ever seen in my entire life, and I think this team may be softer than last year's playoff team against the New York Knicks. Like, I'm not even being exaggerating right now. I'm not exaggerating. I think we're softer than the New York Knicks series last year. We have guys who talk the talk but cannot walk the walk. Darius Garland, I don't know if all of his basketball prowess was in his jaw that got absolutely shattered by Kristaps Porzingis earlier in the season, but ever since he injured his jaw, and granted, I will give him this. I understand. I understand having a long-term injury is very, very, very hard to come back after being out, especially with a broken jaw, having your jaw wired shut. You can't really eat anything. He lost a lot of weight that he, probably gained during the off-season training and that, but it's been a couple months since he's been back. He has not been the same. He has not been good in this playoffs. I think from the plus minus I saw on the Cavs app, he was a minus 27 today. He was a minus 27 in his plus minus. That's absolutely unacceptable. And granted, I would be saying, you know what? Everyone's entitled to a bad game here and there. Everyone's entitled to have a bad game once in a while. But for Darius Garland, he's had one good playoff game. That was game 2 last year against the Knicks. And ever since then, he has been goddamn terrible. Okay? We have seen the absolute goals of this team, which is to make it out of the first round, get deep into the playoffs, hopefully go to a finals appearance. That has been the goal of this organization. That is what they have stated as much. So the people who have been complaining about Cavs fans being way too have the goals way too high for this team, we're not having the goals way too high for this team. We're just stating the goals that the team set out for themselves and that they have stated publicly that they want the goals to be. But when you have a team that plays this freaking terrible game in and game out, it's legitimately insane. It's insane to watch. It's insane to watch. We are watching right now a team that does not seem like they want to play hard. And it's not I'm trying to get the right words because it's been a minute since I made a rant video like this. It's frustrating to watch because it feels like sometimes when you watch the game, at least it seems like to me, it feels like sometimes the fans want it more than the players. And that is something that is downright disrespectful to say, but sometimes the most disrespectful thing to say is sometimes the truth. It's sometimes the truth. It's a hard truth to swallow, but you know what? If it hurts, sometimes it's the truth. The truth is always sometimes it's the worst thing to hear, but it's true. It's true nonetheless. That is what I feel like with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Why sometimes it just feels like the fans want it more, want the team to win more than the Cavaliers do. And that is the worst thing that you can possibly say to a sports player, an athlete, to an organization. That is the worst thing you could possibly say. We need to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers. More specifically, we have to talk, and I think that what many people, many Cavs fans, and many of the media are not talking about is Kobe Altman. We have to talk about Kobe Altman because we can talk about JB Bickerstaff, about how he should be gone. I've wanted him gone since the Atlanta play-in series when he let Kevin Love get absolutely torched every possession down the floor, having to guard Trae Young after they just ran a high screen, high pick and roll to get Kevin Love to guard Trae Young all fourth quarter, and JB Bickerstaff had his hands down the seat of his pants, not doing anything to adjust the entire fourth quarter, and watching Trae Young hit three after three and make every freaking layup possible to get Atlanta to go through the play-in tournament. But Kobe Altman has to be target number one, okay? And this is why I'm saying Kobe Altman is mostly to blame here. Kobe Altman, if you guys remember, Kobe Altman took over for David Griffin, I want to say in 2018. And ever since then, the Cavaliers have not been great in terms of midseason acquisitions, even off-season acquisitions. They have not been good. David Griffin, at least he gave a shit. He tried. He actually got, Iman Shumpert, Timofey Mozgov, J.R. Smith, Kyle Korver. There are guys that you saw around the league. You're like, oh, wow, they're actually going to make a really big impact on this team. They're actually, defensively, three-point wise, in the paint, they're going to be really good acquisitions for us. Then you get into Kobe Altman, and mind you, the first deal that this guy did was trade Kyrie Irving, one of the best Cavaliers of all time, one of the best point guards at the time in the league, to a conference rival that you meet in the playoffs every single year with LeBron. You trade him for a one-hip Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, who did not turn into Jay Crowder until after he left the Cleveland Cavaliers, Ante Zizic, who was here of all 5 seconds and is just part of one highlight play from LeBron, and a first-round pick in 2018 that turned into Colin Sexton, who's a good role player but not a great starter. So that was my first indication that Kobe Altman does not know what the fuck he's doing, okay? So we have that picture. Then 2019, he brings in Andre Drummond, who comes off from the Detroit Pistons, making like $30-some-odd million a year. And then you pair him with Darius Garland, who you take after you already took Colin Sexton in the last year's draft. You're going to pair 2 6-foot guards with each other in the backcourt. Even everybody was saying back in the day, why are you doing that? Why are you making 2 6-foot point guards, in the backcourt? That just makes zero sense. Darius Garland was legitimately, I'm not even being hyperbolic when I say this, he was legitimately statistically one of the worst, if not the worst players in the NBA in 2019, okay? He had 1 foot out the door. 2020, he brings in Jarrett Allen, okay? Cavs still sucked. Cavs were still terrible, okay? Kobe Altman, before the 2021 season started, before he got brought in Evan Mobley, has halfway out the door. Then you get Darius Garland have his his all-star year. Evan Mobley shines as a rookie. Jarrett Allen plays really good. They single-handedly saved Kobe Altman's job in Cleveland. They single-handedly saved his job in Cleveland. Now you got to the point where the big acquisitions that were made for the Cleveland Cavaliers were Max Strus and George Niang. Max Strus and George Niang, both are, decent three-point shooters. Max Strus has a lot of experience in the postseason and has experience going to the finals with the Miami Heat. George Niang had some playoff experience with the Philadelphia 76ers. And my God, are they absolutely shit in the bed right now? They're absolutely shit in the bed right now. I saw a tweet from Hayden Grove. Combined, Max Strus and George Niang are shooting 4 of 28 from 3. 4 of 28 from 3. That means they are making 1 out of every 7 3-pointers collectively, not individually, collectively, through 4 games. These are the guys that you brought in to hit 3-pointers. Not to mention, George Niang might be playing the worst basketball for any Cavalier in the playoffs I have ever seen. And I grew up watching the first stint LeBron Cavs. I grew up watching LeBron and everybody else on the Cavaliers. George Niang may be the worst single-handed playoff basketball player for the Cavaliers I have seen in my lifetime. And I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that. The guy is built like he plays basketball at the YMCA. He has the big nickname, the minivan, because he's very nimble. He's useful. He's built. No. George Niang is built like has a body built by Taco Bell. Looks like he plays YMCA ball over downtown Cleveland. Okay, and he makes like 30 points per game, and he's like, yeah, you know what? If I didn't get hurt in high school, I probably would have gone to the NBA. That's what George Niang looks like. And he's playing like it right now. And I don't care. If he's supposed to be this rough and tough and, gets in your face guy. You know who we have for that? We have Tristan Thompson. We have Marcus Morris. We have guys like that. If we wanted a guy who would get into someone's face, we would just put Tristan Thompson in. We would just put Marcus Morris in if we wanted someone to get in someone's face and draw fouls and that. George Niang is supposed to hit threes. You're supposed to hit threes. You're not hitting threes. So why the fuck are you still on the court? That's the question for JB Bickerstaff too. Because JB Bickerstaff's rotations are fucking dog shit. They are dog shit. We have had this conversation and this problem with JB Bickerstaff his entire freaking career here as the coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers. He would not put Danny Green in last year in the playoffs, even though you brought in Danny Green, one, because of his playoff experience, and two, because he could hit threes. But nope, gotta leave Danny Green on the bench while we have Isaac Okoro out there who couldn't hit a brick, who couldn't fucking hit a three-point shot for his life. Darius Garland was struggling last year. Donovan Mitchell was struggling last year. Couldn't hit anything, behind the three-point line. We had him sit on the bench pretty much the entire fucking first-round series. Now we've got a guy who can hit threes and Sam Merrill barely plays. We got a guy of Marcus Morris who can hit threes, who can get in people's faces. He may not produce as much, but you know what? If you want someone to get in someone's face, draw fouls, play physical, Marcus Morris is your guy, okay? So, and he can hit a three or two once in a while. Maybe try and give him some minutes instead of Niang. But my God, why is George Niang on the floor? I think he's hit maybe like 2 threes. I think he's hit 2 threes this entire series. It's insane. What are we doing here? Then, not to mention, this game, you got boat raced 27-7. You don't take a timeout? What are we doing? Here? You don't take a 60-second timeout, even a fucking 20-second timeout to get your guys and go, hey, we need to regroup. We need to settle down. We need to stop with the turnovers. We need to freaking drive to the hoop. Make some cutting lanes. Open some lanes up. No, he just sits there, arms crossed, watches Franz Wagner turn into fucking Kobe Bryant, making every shot imaginable. Then he bitches to the refs when he doesn't get a call. JB Bickerstaff worries more about bitching at the refs than what is actually going on the court. And he actually said something before game 2 that really opened my eyes and made me very concerned, because he goes, well, it's not about... I'm sorry, let me get my JB Bickerstaff gravelly voice ready here. Well, it's not about it's not about what you do or how you finish in a possession. It's about the process, and if you're doing the process the right way. I don't give a shit if you do the process the right way. If you can hit a 3, hit the fucking 3. I don't care how you do it. Score some points. Score points, because we can't. We have wide open looks, JB, but guess what? We're not scoring. We're wide open. The stats tell us that. The stats tell us the Cavaliers have a lot of wide open shots. They're just not hitting those shots. They're not hitting the fucking shots. So what is your game plan when you go, it's not about what the result of the play is, but the process. Well, the process is working, but the results are nowhere to be found. So why are you giving me that bullshit? Why are you giving me that? It's obviously not working. So your whole game plan about, it's not about what the end result of the play is. It's about the process. Okay, so is this the JB Biggerstaff philosophy? Is this what we're supposed to see? This is the process is working. They're getting open shots. The results are not hitting. So what am I supposed to take away from that, JB? Am I supposed to blame you? Am I supposed to say, hey, this is what you're telling me? The process, it doesn't matter about the result, but the process. You're getting, we're able to get open shots, but you know what? Not hitting open shots, it's whatever. It's whatever. I'm so freaking frustrated because I've wanted this guy to get fired for the last 3 years. 3 years. And I'm not saying this is all on JB. I'm not saying this is all on Kobe Altman. The players have a lot to do with it. They have a lot to do with it. Okay? I will say this. Jared Allen, last year during the Knicks series, I wanted him gone. I was saying, you know what? He even said it himself. The lights were too bright. I wanted his ass gone. I wanted him gone. I said he was weak. But you know what? Who's the only person that showed up today? Jared Allen. After the first half, Jared Allen was the only one to show up. 21 points, 10 rebounds. Doing a pretty good job. He's been doing pretty good. He looks like he's actually been more physical. Donovan Mitchell, where the fuck have you been, my guy? You had that big 30-point game in game 1. Then you've been nowhere to be found. You've had these big first halves. Then you just go dead silent. Where are you? Where are you, man? I mean, it's ridiculous. Evan Mobley, great first game. Okay, second game. Third game, we don't want to talk about that. Today, you've been dribbling the ball off your foot, losing the ball. I mean, what are we doing here, guys? What are we doing here? Like, this is insane. And the worst part, and I say this all the time. When it's with the Browns, whether it's the Browns, the Cavs, the Gardos, whether it's with anybody. Why am I, as a fan, more pissed off than the player? Why am I more pissed off than you? I understand you want to be like, well, it's only one game, You want to do the LeBron thing. Well, at the end of the day, it's just basketball. Yeah. Okay, because you're going to stop playing. You're going to stop playing one of these days. But you know what? Guess what, guy? I'm going to be a fan the rest of my entire life. I have to suffer through this my entire life. I have to be a fan of this organization my entire life. You get to leave. That's the problem. That's the difference between me and that's the difference between the player. Sometimes. I don't know, man. I just needed to get that off of my chest. It was good to finally get that off of my chest. But my God. It's frustrating. It's frustrating times right now to be a Cavs fan because this team has so much potential. They just do not do anything with it. And it's absolutely annoying and it's frustrating to watch. But anyways, it's been a minute, but we're back for right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new and you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. If you like what you see, you like this type of content, you like Cleveland sports, you like sports in general, I got a video coming out soon. I'll explain why I took a long break, explain what's going on, what the process is going to be going forward, what I hope is going to happen going forward. But yeah, I can't wait for you guys to see it. And I will see you guys all in another video. Take care.